It was past midnight when Darren's car sputtered to a stop on a desolate stretch of highway in the middle of nowhere. His phone was dead, no signal, and the closest town was 20 miles back. That's when he saw it, a flickering neon sign ahead in the darkness. Gas, food, open 24 hours. Relieved, Darren pushed his car toward the station. The building looked like it hadn't seen a renovation since the 1970s. Rusted pumps, cracked windows, and a crooked sign that buzzed like an angry hornet. A lone light above the entrance swayed in the wind, casting long shadows across the pavement. Inside, the air smelled like stale coffee and mold. Fluorescent lights hummed overhead. The shelves were mostly bare, except for expired snacks and dust-covered cans. Behind the counter stood an old man with skin like crumpled parchment, wearing a grease-stained uniform. His eyes didn't seem to focus on Darren as he greeted him in a flat, mechanical voice. "Need gas?" "Yeah," Darren said, "and a charger if you have one." The old man reached below the counter and handed him a phone charger, an odd model, but it fit. Darren plugged in his phone by the coffee machine and walked to the bathroom. As he opened the door, a rancid stench hit him like a wall. The fluorescent light flickered, and the mirror above the sink was cracked down the middle. But what chilled him was the writing on the wall, scratched into the tiles with something sharp. "Don't stay past 1. It comes." Darren laughed nervously, thinking it was a prank. But when he turned to leave, the mirror flickered again. And for a second, he saw someone standing behind him. When he spun around, the room was empty. Back at the counter, the old man stared at the clock. It read 12:56. "You should go," he muttered. "I still need gas." "Go." Darren hesitated, but went outside. As he pumped the gas, a wind picked up, howling through the broken sign. Then he saw it, something standing beyond the pumps. Tall, wrong, like a man whose limbs had been stretched too far. Its head tilted and its face wasn't there. He dropped the nozzle and ran to the driver's seat, heart pounding. The figure moved, not walking, but twitching forward in sudden, jerking bursts. Darren turned the key. The engine coughed and stalled. 12:58. He looked back. The thing was closer. A hand slammed onto the windshield, long gray fingers with too many joints. Its head tilted, and Darren heard a sound, not from its mouth, but in his head, a deep whisper in a language he couldn't understand. The engine roared to life. He sped away, tires squealing, not stopping until the gas station was miles behind. He finally got a signal and looked up the station. He found nothing, no address, no business listing, just a single form post from 3 years ago. If you see a gas station past midnight with a flickering sign, don't stop. It's not supposed to be there, and whatever runs it isn't human. Rain poured in sheets as Lila drove down a forgotten back road, her wipers barely keeping up. Her GPS had gone haywire 20 minutes ago, recalculating endlessly before freezing completely. She was lost and nearly out of gas. Then she saw it, a glowing red sign cutting through the storm. Jack's Fill Up since 1956. A single station, one building, 6 pumps, completely deserted. She pulled in and parked beside pump 6, the only one under a working light. It buzzed faintly, casting a dull halo over the pump. The others sat in complete darkness. Lila got out, thankful for cover, and looked around. The store's windows were fogged up. A bell above the door jingled as she stepped in. The place smelled like mildew and old oil. Shelves were stacked with dusty, off-brand items. No music, no sound. Then, a voice. "Need help, sugar." She jumped. A woman in a retro uniform appeared behind the counter. Her skin was powdered pale, her lipstick a bright, unnatural red. She didn't blink once as she smiled. Lila nodded. "Pump 6. The woman's smile faltered. "I'll get it started," she said. But she didn't move, just stared until Lila turned and left. Back at pump 6, the numbers flicked on. Lila filled up fast, glancing at the other pumps. They looked burned, melted even, as if something hot had spilled over them. Only pump 6 remained untouched. Then she saw it, in the reflection of her rearview mirror. Something, crawling from under pump 1. It was humanoid, but wrong. Its limbs were too thin, like wires wrapped in skin. Its mouth was wide, too wide, and its head lolled to the side, dragging behind it like dead weight. She froze. The thing crept toward pump 2, then 3. It was going pump by pump. Lila jumped in the car, turned the key. Nothing. 4. The lights flickered. 5. The buzzing grew louder. Then it reached 6. The thing stopped. It looked up at her, mouth stretching into an impossible grin, revealing jagged, blood-black teeth. It tapped the glass with one crooked finger. Then the woman's voice came over the station's intercom. "You picked the wrong pump, sugar," Lila screamed. The car roared to life, but for just a second she felt the pump latch clamp down tight, like a hand refusing to let go. She hit the gas, and with a snap the nozzle tore free. In her rearview mirror she saw the creature slink back beneath pump 6, disappearing like smoke. The next morning she returned with the sheriff. No station, no pumps, just cracked pavement and a faded sign lying face down in the weeds. Jack's Fill-Up, closed after incident, 1989. And carved into the side of a rusted post, nearly invisible in the daylight, "Don't stop at 6. Ellie had been driving for hours, and her eyes were starting to blur. She wasn't supposed to be out this late, not on this road, not on Old Mill Highway, which locals called the stretch that forgets you. She laughed it off. Superstition. Still, when she saw the glowing lights of a gas station just past a thick patch of trees, she sighed in relief. It was out of place, too clean, too bright. Neon blue letters buzzed above the glass storefront. "Rest Stop 47. We never close." She pulled in and went inside. It was spotless. The air smelled faintly of lemon and copper. Rows of snacks lined perfectly organized aisles, but no one was at the counter. "Hello?" she called. Silence. She wandered down an aisle, looking for a drink. That's when she saw it. A man standing at the end of aisle 3. Back turned, pale skin, wearing an old-fashioned gas station uniform that looked starched and unworn. Something about his stillness made her stomach tighten. "Excuse me, do you work here?" The man didn't move. Ellie stepped closer, uneasy. His hands hung stiffly at his sides. One of them twitched. Then, very slowly, he tilted his head, but not toward her. Just up, like he was listening to something above them. A loud pop came from behind the counter. The lights flickered. Ellie spun around, startled. When she turned back, the man was gone. A cold breath touched the back of her neck. She ran to the counter. There was now a woman standing there, young, expressionless, staring through Ellie like she wasn't real. "Pump 5, the woman asked. "I didn't say what pump I was at," Ellie whispered. The woman blinked slowly. Then her jaw unhinged. Not in horror, but like it was detaching, as if her face were sliding off. Ellie backed away, heart pounding. She turned and ran down the aisle, but the shelves had changed. They were no longer filled with snacks, but hundreds of dusty gas station attendant uniforms, each with a name tag stitched onto the chest. Ellie, Tom, Maya, Caleb, Ellie, again, over and over. She tried the door. It wouldn't budge. Behind her, the lights shut off one by one, moving closer like footsteps. She screamed. And then Ellie's car was found on the side of Old Mill Highway the next day, door wide open, engine off. No gas station in sight. They searched for her for weeks. The case went cold, But every few years, someone swears they see her, stock still, staring blankly, working the counter at an impossibly bright gas station that shouldn't exist. And on the back of every receipt, if you look closely enough, scratched faintly in red, "Aisle 3 is watching."